A pleasant day to all of you. My name is Cyrus Petilla,
And my name is Maria Shakina Canales.
and we're going to discuss the topic of cross-dressing. That a woman usually attain.
Contemporary context of cross-dressing. In the Philippines, some homosexuals practice the act of cross-dressing. 25% have reported losing their job because they did not conform to gender norms. Nearly 90% have admitted to being subjected to some sort of gender-based discrimination.
Some still find it hard to look past the prejudice and stereotypes regarding gender. It helps so that it can have a more open and understanding mindset to what others may have to deal with.
Gender schema theory. The gender schema theory was introduced by Sandra Bem in 1981. The concept of gender schema theory is that once children have formed a basic gender identity, they start to develop gender schemas in which they are based on children's interactions and observations of others, their environment, and the culture. Gender schemas have an impact not only on how people process information, but on the attitudes and beliefs that direct gender appropriate behavior. For example, a child who lives in a very traditional culture might believe that a woman's role is in the caring and raising of children, while a man's role is in work and industry. Through these observations, children form schema related to what men and women can and cannot do. It also dictates a person's value and potential in that culture. For example, a girl raised in a traditional culture might believe that the only path available to her as a woman is to get married and raise kids. By contrast, a girl raised in a more progressive culture might pursue a career, avoid having children, or decide not to get married. Many of these influences are overt, while others are more subtle. For instance, even the placement of gender titles in vocabulary inherently places women in a secondary position by rule. All of these influences add up to how gender schema is formed.
Queer theory emerged in the early 1990s and was defined as the mismatches between sex, gender, and desire. It was built both upon feminist challenges to the idea that gender is part of the essential self and upon gay or lesbian studies' close examination of the socially constructed nature of sexual acts and identities. Queer theory holds that individual sexuality is a fluid, fragmented, and dynamic collectivity of possible sexualities, and it may vary at different points during one's life.
So for the grooming and uniform policy, we chose to focus on the ITHM students because it is much stricter than the other institute here in FEU. Under the uniform policy on grooming and uniform for Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management students, It is indicated that students shall wear their proper school attire and validate school identification card upon entry and while inside the campus. This refers to the university school attire and FEU ID card policy and institute uniform code. General guidelines, ITHM enforces a cohesive uniform and grooming policy to prepare the students for hospitality and tourism industry standards. On top of the university uniform policy, the following institute policy shall apply to any ITHM students. ITHM logo patch, nameplate, FEU ID, and institute pin should be part of the uniform. Lastly, students should wear university standard in uniform and cross-dressing is strictly prohibited.
Hello, my name is Patrick de Guzman and I'm teaching ethics and Wika here at Forrester University.
My name is Patrick Ibes Mendones. I am a second-year college student taking up International Studies, major in International Relations and Diplomacy. And I'm from the Institute of Arts and Sciences.
I'm Lisa Maybarot. From?
Institute of ITHM.
For you is, what is cross-dressing para sa'yo?
Yung cross-dressing para sa lalaki na nag-dress na pang-babae or yung babae na dress na pang-lalaki.
I think for me, cross-dressing is a specific sex dressing in the part of an opposite sex. For example, a man dresses like a woman or vice versa, a woman dresses like a man. That's for me is cross-dressing.
So what is cross-dressing? I believe that cross-dressing is a means of expressing one's orientation depending on how you identify or think of yourself. So maybe you're male, but you wanted to express yourself or identify yourself as a woman. You think like that, and you wanted to express yourself like a woman despite of her sex because that's your gender. Chosen gender to be a female. So you're going to express yourself, orient yourself, and show yourself to the public how a woman are dressed. So that's cross-dressing. I don't suggest that it will be implemented, but it is actually just okay. It depends on the context because some people in terms of a society or a community might accept it and some may not. So the question now is, should it be implemented? I think it's a case-to-case basis. In what way? It depends on the society, it depends on the community, it depends on the grounds you're actually are into. In such a way that maybe some people feel like out of it and you're just the only one who is wearing such or applying such culture or practice, and it's not bad, but it doesn't mean that it should be implemented, but it depends on the grounds because you cannot always please people, you cannot make them adjust to you, and you cannot always have the thoughts of adjusting to them. So it is a case-to-case basis. And when it comes to its limitations, I guess that there shouldn't be limitations because alone gender is constructed, and in terms of how you orient yourself or dress yourself, it is also constructed. Who actually told us to wear polo for men? Who told us that men should wear this?
Next is, how does cross-dressing become a medium for the LGBT to further gender expression?
I think parang mas nagiging confident sila nag-dress sila na kung ano yung gusto nilang perspective na dress like yung mga lalaki. Parang naging confident
bagay ate.
Kasi through their di ba nga sabi namin pag-express, freedom of expression yung cross-dressing nila. Which is parang nabibigyan sila ng right kung anong klaseng gender yung gusto nila. Yeah.
Same lang sa akin yung actually ganun din.
Of course, just like what I've said, the LGBT community, through cross-dressing, they are allowed to wear whatever they want to wear. And for example, a man wishes to dress like a woman, and that is how he identifies himself as a woman. I think it really empowers them because it is a medium for them to be themselves confidently and without shame. They can be whoever they want to be with the wardrobe that they wish to dress themselves with.
Okay, so does cross-dressing empower the LGBT community?
My answer is definitely it empowers the LGBT community because in a way it allows them, it enables them to express their own selves. They can be themselves through the wardrobe that they wish to wear.
For you? Definitely yes. Yun lang.
Freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression.
Right nila. Tingin ko. Kasi, di ba, bibigyan sila ng confidence through dressing na gusto nilang makita. And dahil doon, bibigyan nila yung self nila communicate sa mga tao na kahit na ganito yung kanilang mga pananamit, nakakapag-interact sila confident with their dressing.
Wow, confident.
Nice answer.
I think the LGBT community should be allowed to cross-dress in schools.
Para sa akin, okay lang naman. Pero, sa akin kasi okay lang mag-cross-dress sila sa school. Pero somehow, minsan parang medyo naiilang pa ako kasi hindi pa ako ganun ka aware or hindi pa ako hindi pa ako sanay na nakikita sila na nag-dress na pang lalaki o pang babae.
Masasanay ka rin.
When, kasi, pag pinag-usapan natin yung proper dress code na sa university, siguro medyo natatamaan din ng mga, di ba, judging aside, natatamaan din ng mga LGBTs. But, well, kasi medyo nagiging na tayo ngayon, nagiging integrated na yung system natin, and nagiging open na tayo sa kanila, so I think it is okay na.
Ate.
Same lang yung sa akin, pero siguro mas nagiging formal kung ako susuotin ko kung ano yung appropriate na uniform para sa akin. Pero siyempre, kailangan natin tanggapin kung ano sila, kung paano nila na-express yung sarili nila.
Does cross-dressing cause bullying?
To some extent, yes, because nowadays people don't have a total mindset or an acceptance of the community of LGBT when it comes to cross-dressing. So yes, it may cause bullying because many people still do not have a proper understanding that a person's preference is different from theirs. So I think apart from that question, I think people should really have that kind of gender sensitivity trainings, gender sensitivity education for them to be aware that there are also people that identifies themselves as the opposite gender, and yeah, to some extent it really causes bullying, and for me it should really be it should stop, especially here at school where people should really practice should be able to express themselves freely without any shame or any embarrassment towards the way they want to identify themselves.
Kasi may Filipino pa rin na traditional mag-isip. Kung parang nandun tayo sa religious more on inaano natin yung Christianity.
Ayan.
Na parang hindi siya ina-accept. Tingnan mo yung soul reveal, hindi pa siya ina-accept. Diba?
To reflect on these interviews, we can pave the way for cross-dressing to become more accepted by our society, in which we can make a better world for all cross-genders. We want to let them know that it is okay to express each other's gender in any way they want, so that they can be comfortable with their own gender identity. Transvestism is the most imaginative protest against being imaginatively bounded by the particular gender we happen to have been born into. We shouldn't be scared. We can accept that our original identity and status shouldn't be regarded as decisive, and we should accept others for who they are, even though they are wearing clothes of the opposite gender. Thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.